Alright, so I guess let's start as we have been with some MAGA cope stuff, just for funsies. So we had some multiple news since, you know, the last time we did the MAGA cope stuff. So, as we all know, the people in denial of the election, let's say, all along, they've been saying a lot of things in terms of goalpost moving. Oh, they'll say the media doesn't call elections, even though the media didn't call the election. They just said who the projected winner is based on math. Then, of course, they pushed it out to, oh, hey, well, the states haven't certified their elections. Now they have. Every state has certified the election at this point. Yesterday was the safe harbor date for that. I'm sure now they're looking towards the electoral vote that's on the 14th, which is in 5 days. DVDO, thank you for following. And of course, this whole time they've also been hyping up the idea that some case is going to get to the Supreme Court. And oh my god, they're going to overturn the election for Donald Trump. Anyway, the first thing got to the Supreme Court yesterday in terms of when they decided to hear it or not. They decided not to hear that case at all. It was the Pennsylvania election suit. We actually read the Pennsylvania Supreme Court decision the other day on the channel. And then, of course, the MAGA people were like, oh, it's going to go to the Supreme Court. It's going to go to the Supreme Court. Went up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court's like, we're not hearing it. Not only did they say they're not going to hear it, explicitly there was no dissent. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a 9-0 decision, but it means that even if there were any of the judges that decided to disagree with that decision to not hear the case, they didn't write anything about it. So, it seems like a pretty clear refutation of this idea that they're going to try and overturn the election or whatever in the Supreme Court. So, interesting stuff. There's now a Texas lawsuit, which I think a couple other states have signed on to at this point, that's incredibly stupid as well, that's supposed to similarly go up to the Supreme Court in the next week or so in order to try and determine if they're going to hear it. I'd also imagine that case isn't going to go anywhere because the case is basically Texas saying, we want to determine how Pennsylvania does their elections. It's very stupid. The states run their own elections. Texas can't tell Pennsylvania how to run their elections any more than Pennsylvania can tell Texas. So it's very stupid and short-sighted, also, considering a state like California, for instance, would then have an opening to sue someplace like Texas over, like, voter ID laws. So, I don't know what the strategy there is, but that's gonna be funny. So, MAGA people have kind of been freaking out the past day or so. A lot of their hopes have been dashed, just for context. I don't know if any of that will be in the MAGA cope stuff here, but in case it is, that's the backstory of what's going on. So let's see. This person says, the CEO of Goya Foods is a badass, and I'm gonna go buy some more adobo seasoning tomorrow. And this person says, remember when Trump lost the election? No, I don't, because he won both. No, that's factually untrue. 74 Quinn, 74 with 20 bits. I want more legal clapbacks like from Pennsylvania. I do want to start reading some more legal documents and stuff soon. I'm not a lawyer, so it's not like I'm going to understand them in depth like someone like Leonard French, but like still, there's some entertainment value to be gained from them, I think. Cherry Vanilla Dreams with 25 bits. You think the GOP would attempt to impeach Biden after his inauguration? They could try. I don't think it'll work, though, because they don't control the House, and the House is who votes on impeachment. Then it moves over to the Senate for the actual, like, trial, and then the Senate decides to remove. But I don't even think they'd be able to impeach Biden in the first place because they don't control the House. Like, the Democrats lost seats in the House, but they still have a control, right? That's why the Senate election that's happening in Georgia, the runoff is so important, because currently Democrats already control the House and will in January, and then if they're able to win the two runoffs, then it'll be a 50-50 in the Senate, and then Kamala would be the tiebreaker, similar to how Pence was the tiebreaker back in, like, 2017, 2018. Just take the LSAT like Destiny did. No thanks. Do you really want to see me fail a test? That doesn't really make sense. Okay, here's Sidney Powell, who's been photoshopped onto the lady from Resident Evil. Do people even like the Resident Evil movies? And there she is again, as Wonder Woman, superimposed in front of a Kraken. Nothing can stop the Kraken, it says. Guys, the Kraken lawsuit that she filed got thrown out immediately. We looked at that again the other day. The typo-filled one that misspelled district 2 different ways in the first, like, line. It got thrown out. Batty Bell with 100 bits. Hope everyone is having a lovely day. I hope everyone is too. What's this? Never interrupt a dangerous animal when they're in the process of destroying themselves. I wasn't drunk, alleged voter fraud witness Melissa Carone responds after going viral. That was her post. Did you see that? I don't know. It's possible, and the meme has been that she's drunk. It's possible, but just for the record, she's from, like, Michigan. Sometimes people just talk like that in Michigan. There are some Midwestern people that just sound like they're drunk all the time. I know that sounds weird, or maybe that's the rampant alcoholism in the Midwest and I'm just not detecting it. But I have known people in my life who have talked like that. Anyway, let's see. This person's... Oh no, it's a Minecraft meme about Joe Biden. Sniff, sniff. Biden is a creeper. Don't watch fake news. And it says, I heart Soros. Socialism stinks. Oh no. What does a Republican build in Minecraft? Do Republicans in Minecraft just go into the villages and immediately, like, mine all the villagers' houses and steal all their crops and go, they didn't work for it hard enough? Andrew Dickerson with 20 bits. Donald Trump is experiencing Gold Experience Requiem's ability. He will never reach the truth. He will only experience perpetual defeat. Gold Experience Requiem's ability. I don't know what those words in that order mean. MMO Addicted with 20 bits. Maybe they are never sober like the Polish. Throw 2 shots of vodka into your breakfast coffee. It's possible. This person says, I think he won it all, not just because I wanted that to happen, but it makes common sense. Oh no. No, it doesn't. Donald Trump never got over like a 46 or 47% approval rating. Why are these people shocked he lost? People don't like him. Oh no. This person is, I'm guessing, an Instagram influencer person who is also doing Trump. Look at that bedazzled hat. That is an ugly hat. That's a denim hat with Trump bedazzling on it. Rhinestones and shit. This is what they would make, and then there's a link. Oh no, this person built Auschwitz in there. Oh no. This is also, secondarily, the blurriest fucking YouTube video in the history of YouTube videos. Has this been ripped and reposted 50,000 times? Jesus Christ. Okay, this is Soylent. POV. You're me trying to decide what to have for breakfast. I don't know what this... I know Baja drinks the Soylent stuff. I'm not familiar with it, though. And I'm not sure why it's on this Twitter in the first place. This person says, I still can't understand how a socialist pervert could even get 1 vote in this election. Pelosi has a plan to work her way to be president, and Joe is part of the plan. They'll declare him incompetent if he gets elected. Then the other socialist vice president will resign. Who will be president then? The evil witch Pelosi. Goodbye to your guns. Your wages will drop tremendously because of new taxes. Military funding will drop. Borders will be wide open to give terrorists easy passage to the U.S. And when Antifa, Black Lives Matter, and the looters and any other American-hating organizations have the country in turmoil, martial law will be declared. We'll let them try to take our freedoms. Hitler tried and failed, and so will the Democrats. Jesus Christ, yikerinos. Did a learning AI write this after reading a bunch of Parler posts? It's got all the beats. Also, the idea that people on the left like Pelosi, what the heck is that about? I think most, at least younger people, recognize that Pelosi's, like, really, really bad at her job. MMO Addicted with 20 bits. I ordered a new character art commission. I'll share it with y'all when it's done. Nice. Okay, cool. Does anybody like Pelosi? Apparently the Democrat establishment does, because she keeps getting selected for the majority leader in the House. Destiny's friend got mad during a Twitter argument, then Destiny decided to take the LSAT. Destiny's friend said that they got a 184 on it, then got suspended on Twitter. This is truly a tale for the history books. Okay, so wait. Why did Destiny try and take the LSATs? I don't understand. And then why did their account get suspended? This person who said Destiny... What's a good score on the LSATs? I don't know. Is anyone in the chat a lawyer that would know who's taking the LSATs? Because he's a narcissist. Destiny! Is Destiny 180 is the max? Jesus Christ. Okay, so he was saying he got more than he could potentially get. Okay, so did Destiny literally take the LSATs just because he thought, even without studying, like, law, that he's just a big brain who can, like, do it with no practice, or what? Because that's hilarious, honestly. That's stupid.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
He didn't get past the first question. Comrade Devin with 20 bits. I saw a video from Vice where a guy tried only living off Soylent for 30 days, and that wasn't the gross part. He found mold in the powdered Soylent and rats in their warehouse. The guy who started the company is super weird, too. Linked in case you want to see. Oh, okay. Interesting. LSAT is just logic test, by the way? Oh, okay. I'm not familiar. Maybe for fun we'll take it sometime and meme about the Destiny thing. That would be funny. I probably wouldn't be very good at it. Let's see what this person says on Parler. This liar doesn't have COVID. It's a hoax. She just doesn't want to fight for Trump anymore. She's been compromised, probably getting paid by Fidel Castro to fake COVID. Oh, no. I assume he's talking about the lady who sat next to Giuliani at that thing, who caught the COVID, probably from Giuliani. Do you think she caught it from his fart? Can you catch COVID via farts? Also, yes, Fidel Castro, which is very funny. Oh, no! This person says, made a femboy-friendly MAGA hat for Femboy Friday. Hashtag femboys. And it's like a Catboy MAGA hat. Oh, no! I know Fidel Castro's been dead. Do I need to explain that? Do I need to explain to people that Fidel Castro's dead? I think everyone knows that.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Tucker White 94, not the femboys. What's this? Caitlin Bennett on Parler. My views on YouTube last month versus this month. Really frustrating being silenced by big tech for supporting the president. They don't want us to be able to get out the truth. Let me see. This is a month ago. 360 views, 819 views, and lately it's 30, 71, 70, 75. Caitlin, it's possible YouTube's like throttling your ability to get your content out to people. I have no idea. They do that to try and push certain content preferences. But I also think a big factor in that is probably because people don't want to listen to political bullshit after they lose an election. Up to the election, Trump supporters are all riled up. And after the election, he lost. So they don't want to watch your content about it anymore, at least not right now. Like, there are certainly Trump supporters who are in complete denial, but I'd like to think, and again, I have no data on this, even though there are a ton of very loud people on the internet who don't think Biden won the election or think there was fraud or whatever bullshit thing. I'd like to think the majority of Republicans are like, okay, fine. At least the ones over 20, you know? The ones who've dealt with losing elections before, because that's part of democracy. MMO Addicted with 20 bits. Yes, Fidel Castro, the great Leashmaster, the immortal communist necromancer. Oh, Lichmaster, sorry. The immortal communist necromancer who will raise an army of zombie laborers to toil for everyone as we all just live in opulence and femboy orgies. All hail. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's always about the femboys with you guys. It's always the femboys. Let's see what this person says. Can't believe Stacey Abrams was able to get all 9 justices of SCOTUS, Brian Kemp, Doug Ducey, and so many more ideological opposites to work together so seamlessly in this election conspiracy. Big Yikes Frankie with 25 bits. Observing the MAGA crowd post-election is like watching a wacky inflatable arm-flailing tube man deflate. I wish more of them would chill out, but yeah, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. Overturn this fraudulent election and prosecute all federal, state, and local officials that conducted these treasonous crimes against all Americans. That'd be great. Incarcerating everyone who volunteers to work for an election, that's reasonable. The only way to get to sort out the election fraud is to overturn the election. If not overturned, it will destroy America. It's so frustrating listening to these people talk about like declaring martial law, destroying democracy, and installing a dictatorship, while also claiming the other side is doing that, and that's their reason. It would be like if someone came up to you and started swinging at you to punch you in the face, and while they're doing it, they're just like, why are you trying to punch me? Why are you trying to punch me? It's like, you're literally the one doing the thing you're describing. It's so frustrating. Fascists gonna fash, though. Tucker White 94, 20 bets. FYI, Evan's tweet was sarcastic. He even said it in reply to Coping MAGA. Oh, I know. I know that one was sarcastic. But it is an encapsulation, I think, of how a lot of Trump supporters who believe the fraud narrative are going about their beliefs in terms of, oh, everyone's in on it. It's just crazy. It's always projection with them. Yeah. Republicans in 1865. I just shot 60 slave owners. Republicans in 2020. I can't sleep without my Donald Trump body
There's
pillow.
nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Tucker White 94, 20 bits. Geez, sir. I get that it's annoying to deal with cranky old lady who runs the polling booth, but even she doesn't deserve to go to prison. Here's more parlor stuff. Yeah, here's another person calling for martial law.
The tools of capitalism.
Harry K5 with 20 bets. I keep hearing about martial law. Is it an MMA thing? It's not an MMA thing. This person says, only possible solution is martial law now. Declare current election illegal. Set January 3rd as new election date. Absentee ballots must be in by that date. All other voting in person with proper ID and precinct you're registered in. Voting ends at, and then it goes on. This person replies, wow, America as we know it is over. We must now recognize, I assume it's supposed to be, we must now recognize that there is no democracy, not republic, it's all facade. What's next? Resistance in all forms. I see no moral reason to limit resistance to legal means. We've lived enough under a two-tiered justice system. Enough is enough. We have the Second Amendment. The situation we find ourselves in is now precisely why we fought all these years to preserve it. So yeah, some of these people on Parler are literally, I hope the FBI, at least some of the reasonable people in the FBI are keeping an eye on these psychos, because they're gonna do some shit. Not necessarily widespread, but there will be incidents of violence probably as it gets closer to January 20th and after. It's gonna be bad, because these people have been radicalized and shuffled off to places like Parler, where they're even more radicalized than they already had been prior. It's a recipe for disaster. Let me put it that way. Tucker White 94, 20 bits. The Parler F is so close. It's all facade, but not for reasons you think. It's perfectly reasonable, for instance, to recognize, like, hey, the rule of law in this country is in danger. It seems like there are two tiers of justice, one for the poor and one for the wealthy, and that's a reasonable thing to recognize. But if you think the person who's going to save you is Donald Trump, you are delusional. That is crazy. He's one of the people who is benefiting from this two-tiered justice system. It's like when people, I've seen some people like, ooh, I can't wait for Trump to get out of office so we can be arrested. It's like, what? Donald Trump will never face consequences for any of his actions. Are you kidding me? Like, George W. Bush committed war crimes, and he's out there, like, on Ellen, showing people his paintings. Just you watch. Someone's gonna try, and I don't know if it'll be successful because Trump is a bigger asshole. Let me be clear. George W. Bush committed war crimes, which are worse. However, Trump is more abrasive in his personality, right? Someone's gonna try and reform Trump's image at some point, and I don't think it'll work because he's, you know, more dickish, but it's that thing. In America, you gotta look at the presidents in some sort of positive way, even if they're absolute shit. It's very frustrating. Dracon with 20 bits. The only way Trump ends up in jail is if he does something that hurts the rich. Yeah. That's basically the only time rich people face any sort of justice, is if they hurt other rich people. Tucker White 94 with 20 bits. Until Joe Biden becomes the communist, the communist MAGA chuds think he is, Donald Trump will never face criminal charges. Yeah. I do find the image of communist Joe Biden to be very funny. Liberty Hangout says separation of church and state is for losers and Satanists. We should absolutely be forcing our Christian values on the country. Look what the alternative has become. Again, the irony of this coming out of a channel that calls themselves Liberty Hangout. Is it lost on them, or do they understand and just find it funny? I don't know. There's someone in a Donald Trump shirt with the Donald Trump flag. Oh, no. Every American that stands for freedom, stand united and support Sidney Powell 100%. The world watching all the corrupted politicians revealing themselves that's involved in this despicable act of voter fraud. Beware Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, Joe Biden indictments are coming. Been hearing this for years, guys. I've been following QAnon, not because I believe it, because of course it's bullshit, but because I'm into conspiracy theories. As an outside observer, I find them fascinating. They've been saying for years that all these indictments, they're coming, they're coming, they're coming. Back in 2017, QAnon claimed that Hillary Clinton had already been arrested. What do you know? Turns out that wasn't true. Tucker White 94, 20 bits. The guy in the Trump flag also runs Liberty Hangout's Twitter account, and he claims to be a black guy. What is up with them doing that? Come on, guys. Stop. Do they not realize how fucking stupid it is for them to do that? What's this? It just exploded. It hit nothing. This fascist intimidation because cars don't just explode other than having a bomb on board. Today in Georgia, just hours ago, Governor Bryant Kemp called for a full signature audit of Georgia elections. Kemp's boyfriend was killed in a traffic accident. He happened to be a staffer of Republican Senate Kelly Loeffler, who was involved in a critical runoff. Multiple witnesses report the car exploding and that there was no collision. Make no mistake, this was a message for Kemp to get back in line after the audit was called for. Evil is at work in our nation. Keep supporting Trump. Yikes. No. No. I assume that guy just got in a car accident, and that's sad for anyone to get in, like, a horrible accident like that. Blaming it on some sort of deep state is absolutely ridiculous. Necolillian with some bits. Hey, Hannah, wanted to say I listened to a past recording of yours with the Ben Shapiro parody, and it was hard not to laugh in the middle of getting a tattoo. I hope your new tattoo is cool. What's this? Nicole Arbor says, if you are a celeb who uses changing genders, being gay, losing a baby, or your kid being trans for press, you gross. This person says, exactly. Why do these things need to be announced? Keep your private life private, weirdos. And by weirdos, I mean people who advertise their private life all over social media to see. And then this person on their Twitter has mom of one hockey player and two dancers, an ACD and two cats, music and fashion lover, conservative, does not mean blindly Republican, hippie, Grateful Dead lover, Catholic. It's almost like they only want people to not talk about their identities out in the open when it's an identity that they think is somehow bad. It's an identity that they think is sinful, even though it's not hurting anyone. Funny how that works. Empty the tanks with 20 bits. My grandparents have gone full Trump supporter, election truther. They think everyone is being brainwashed against him. Reminder, we are Australia. The idiocy has made across the ocean. It's absolutely crazy. It really is. Hippie and conservative,
There's
yeah.
nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Tucker White 94, 20 bits. I'm pretty sure conservative hippie is a contradiction of terms. By hippie, they probably just mean they smoke weed. Or do acid or something. Or they, like, I don't know, have a garden. I don't know. I assume the use of hippie is very loose. This person says, I think on the Donald.win, the communists are coming for you. They will not stop. They cannot be reasoned with. They do not feel pity, remorse, or fear. And they absolutely will not stop ever until you're dead. These are, communist. They're not your fellow Americans. They hate America and Americans that only have one purpose, your destruction. Communism is a mind virus spread by a blood cult of lunatic psychopaths that see death, chaos, and destruction as heaven on earth. They are here. They are coming for you. That's not fear-mongery at all. Again, I say to people like that, communism is not a mainstream belief in the United States. It hasn't, like, been in a really, really, really long time, right? And I'm talking, like, pre-World War II stuff. No. Nope. Nope. Communism is not a threat to you. Even people like me, I'm not a communist. I'm like a democratic socialist, and that's not communism. And if you don't know the difference, then perhaps you should go read and learn about the things that you're demonizing. Doom Smoothie with 20 bits just got here, had a good work day because my favorite customer came in, an old gay man who absolutely actually respects my pronouns. Thought I'd share some good vibes. Right on.
There's nothing funny about the
good for
tools
that,
of
dude.
capitalism.
Tucker White 94, 20 bits, has communism ever been mainstream in the United States? There were... How do I put this? There were labor movements that you could say were going in that direction in the last century, but like not the way that we're talking. I'm not talking about, like, how do I put this?
There's nothing funny about
not
the tools
popular,
of capitalism.
but they did exist. Stone Corbell with 20 bits. I'm communist adjacent and don't want to kill anyone. What the hell do these people think communism is? I think they think it's literally like Stalinist Russia stuff. Empty the tanks with 20 bits. Is left fearless, ruthless communist or soy boy snowflakes? Pick one. Yeah. That's what fascists do. The enemy is both weak and strong at the same time.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Maybe God sent Trump as a messenger of Earth's salvation the same way he sent Noah and Moses during their troubling times to save his people, to show us how we have been led astray and lied to for so long. Sometimes you cannot tell people the truth, you must show them. God wins. The conflation of people's religious ideology with the Trump stuff is so icky to me. Like, if you're religious, whatever, as long as you're not hurting someone, but when you start to tie your religion to your politics like that, it is a recipe for disaster. Tucker White 94, the only mainstream communist I can think of is Woody Guthrie, and then Ashy Boo 72 with 20 bits. My dad lost a friend of 14 years last night because the guy thinks my dad is too far left. He literally warned my dad that he would regret his beliefs when he was in a Marxist communist gulag. How do you de-radicalize people? We need to figure that out at some point. Now that Sidney Powell is out, this person says, Sidney Powell is a double agent. The Dems planted her on the Trump legal team. She was paid $2 billion to hoodwink Trump and his supporters. The machines did not flip 7 million votes. Sidney has left the U.S. under the protection of the Democrats. Tucker Carlson sniffed her shit and called her out. She panicked and got the hell out of the country. Untrue. She's just a weirdo. Sidney Powell's Michael Flynn's attorney, for fuck's sake. And also $2 billion. Yeah, sure. That's a lot of money. This guy says, oh, wait, guess what? We got till January 20th for it to be officially. The news just pushing it right now. Trump won't lose this. He won't let it happen. He's suing multiple states for voter fraud and has demanded a recount after they've been caught cheating. There have been multiple recounts. All the lawsuits have been thrown out, including the Pennsylvania one in the Supreme Court. So seems like Trump will be the 2020 president after all when all this bullcrap and the liberals have done to our country is sorted out. Oh god, this one's all text. This one says, I honestly will be so happy when y'all, lib, and then, you know, suffix that is not something I'm gonna say. Get what you wanted. Have fun being slaves and being decapitated and killed by the Chinese and Russians when we are overrun, and or when a civil war will happen. I want to keep my money. I've worked hard for not getting taxed 62 to 75% from the Biden-Sanders manifesto. Have they read anything that the Biden campaign has put out in terms of their tax proposals? Gonna cause economic shutdowns of our country and another Great Depression. It's also funny how y'all voted in a racist, homophobic pedophile. If y'all don't believe me, just look up the racist and homophobic things Joe Biden has said that the liberal news won't cover. I'm a Christian and have different beliefs than the liberals, clearly. You can't be a liberal and a Christian at the same time. Both believe in totally different ideas, but the truth is America was built on God's name, and the ideas now aren't for him. We will be the next Sodom and Gomorrah, but no matter what, I'm still standing for the flag in the name of the great country of America, and will die for it if I have to, too. FBI, maybe take a look at that guy. Seems like he wants to do some not so great stuff. MMO addicted USSR PTSD. In the former Soviet republics, you would actually be better off not labeling yourself that. Even though social policies and general socialism is pretty popular, USSR showed the worst possible implementation of communism, same as the US is now showing the worst of capitalism. I was gonna do Tanky Watch today, by the way, but I gotta go. I have a bunch of channels lined up, but I gotta go in and find specific videos that I can talk about. Gotta love a country where you can sell it out for profit, get paid a lot for doing little to nothing, have a cokehead for a son, and have people think that you're a great guy. I think it says a lot about people on the right that they think that having a family member with a drug addiction is somehow, like, a moral wrongdoing on your part. It's revealing, isn't it? Tucker White 94 20 bits. Funny, I've flown over the United States many times and have never seen the land shaped in the form of the word God. Buzzing. This person says, imagine a vaccine so safe you had to be threatened to take it. For a disease so deadly you have to be tested to know you have it. Again, anti-vaxxers are a thing, which is why, first of all, so far you're not being threatened to take it. Like, there's not mandatory vaccination right now, though maybe there should be. Second of all, for a disease so deadly, you have to be tested to know you have it. There's like a 2-week incubation period, or at least up to a 2-week incubation period for COVID. So that's why. It doesn't hit you with symptoms up to 2 weeks from when you get it. So you have 2-week period where you're spreading it. Okay? You can also be someone who was asymptomatic, so it can be good to know. Jesus Christ.
Funny about the tools of capitalism.
The Ender 92 with 20 bits. Also, they test for cancer. They test for cancer. I don't know what you mean by that. Oh, because cancer can be... You don't necessarily feel symptoms right away. I get the comparison you're making. Fair enough. Oh, Jesus. This is from the subreddit QAnon Casualties, which is a good subreddit deal if you're someone who has, like, QAnon believers in your family and you need, like, a support group to deal with, like, how do you deal with someone who's this out of touch with reality? Anyway, here's a post from them. They say, my aunt who was ultra QAnon shot herself earlier today. She left a note saying she was terrified the cabal was coming for her and her kids because of Trump's loss. I swear to God, if I ever see Jim Watkins, I'll tear him apart with my bare hands. How many poor people can they hurt like this? Jim Watkins, if you don't know, is the owner of 8kun, and is believed to be the current QAnon. Him and his son are supposedly the ones who are posting under the QAnon trip code as of today. Yeah. You can't take advantage, you know, of people who are prone to that sort of delusion. It ends in tragedy all the time. It's not okay.
That's right, capitalistic propaganda.
Thank you to Oh, Dave30 for following. I concede nothing. Yikes.
There's nothing funny about the tools of
Okay.
capitalism.
And now we're all caught up on the MAGA code.